We'll also talk about some of the programming meant to positively impact them. Roll it, Kirk. It's Father's Day weekend, the greatest weekend in a year when Christmas doesn't fall on a weekend. I'll introduce you to a father on a mission. There's an event in New Orleans that highlights the need to invest in young black males. We'll tell you all about that. There's a Greek show, an extravaganza, 3 days on the yard next week. We got the scoop, but we'll begin with a conversation with our DA. Happy Father's Day, Kirk. Roll it, brother. Well, we are into the summer again. Did I mention it's Father's Day weekend? Happy Father's Day, dads. The gentleman who was on the show with me here is also a dad, and you're actually a pretty good one.
I think so.
That's the only compliment you're going to get from me today or anytime this year.
Nice
Our
suit.
district attorney, thank you, sir. Hillar Moore, representing the 19th JDC. I'm glad I didn't ask you this before we started. I'm glad I did and not getting onto the show, because I asked you where we were as of now with the homicide number, and you said the number is?
62.
62. Compared to last year, where were we at this time?
We're 16% up from last year.
16% up. Okay.
Cautious that earlier in the year, we remained 50% above because our numbers earlier on in the year had skyrocketed in the first 3 months, particularly March, with 15 homicides in March. Yikes. And that really set our numbers high. But when we looked at shots fired and non-fatal shootings, we didn't think that that number was going to remain consistent. And it's surely now we're down to being 16% above. We had a better month last month than the year before. In fact, half of the homicides. And this month we're doing better than we did last year. So it appears to be on a downward trend.
Yeah.
But if you recall, during the Brave years, we finished 2 years with 68 and 62, and right now we're at 62, when last year we had 102 total for the year.
Yeah.
So we have to slow it down.
So last summer, violent crime was down in a lot of areas with the exception of domestic violence.
Yes.
We saw really out of control summer with domestic violence. I'm not going to ask you to predict where crime is going to be in a month or wherever, but where is that trending right now?
It's been consistent to other years, not spiking.
Okay.
So it's still, one is too many, but we are somewhat happy where we are with that number right now. Could be lower, but we're not having a very egregious year.
Yeah.
But again, one is one. Every one of those are preventable.
We've seen an increase in the number of younger shooters here in the parish and in the capital region. Is there anything you could attribute that to?
A whole lot.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I think we have to start with the home, parents in the home or no parent in the home. Then you have to move to the public education system, which we really need some help. Truancy, just the community in general where they live. But that is an outrageous number right now. If you look at any social media that we unfortunately look at, you'll see these young kids with very large, multiple types of weapons, with large clips made fully automatic.
Oh yeah.
And they are telling us what they're going to do and oftentimes do it. So it's not only the defendant that's the juvenile, it's the victim that's a juvenile as well. And we are having a significant problem with juvenile violent crime.
This is a part of a national trend.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And where are we as it relates to the rest of the nation in similar sized areas where this kind of thing is a problem?
Probably somewhat higher than all the other similar ones, but not terribly higher, but we are. As you know, we're having a significant problem with housing juveniles.
Yeah.
Where do you put them? And there's a big debate on how do you treat a juvenile? Depends on who you ask, whether it's a victim of a juvenile violent crime or maybe someone else. It's a difficult question, but we have to stop the bleeding first before we get to anything else. And we have to have these kids put down weapons, or parents know that their child has a weapon. What's it for?
Yeah, I want to ask you about resources in just a moment, but first, here's something that I've heard come up in conversations a lot, that we're not tough enough. That we're not tough enough, that we don't drop the hammer, and we don't keep the bad actors in jail longer. Where do you fall on that?
It just depends. Everything's a case-by-case study. It just depends on what type of evidence you have. When these people are committing crimes, they don't want to get caught, so they do things so they're not caught. Very hard with us having people cooperate. We have to rely more now on hard evidence and scientific or social media type evidence, cell phone type evidence, because really nobody wants to talk and they're all involved. Makes it really difficult, but look, there's some juveniles that have to be taken off the street.
No question.
And right now, in my opinion, the system that we have set up does not adequately punish and then eventually deter and help the juvenile once they are charged, for example, with second-degree murder, they're convicted. The longest that they can spend is up to 21. So if you commit an offense at 16 and you kill someone or two people, that's what you're looking at. Life is 21 in a juvenile setting. So that means we potentially have to try them as an adult. And, you know, try someone who's this tall with glasses on, you're asking a jury to put him away for life. It's a difficult call, but it's all about public safety first, then we deal with the other stuff.
What about investment? What types of investments, I've got about a minute, that you think we should do more of to help move kids away from this?
It has to be at the home and then the community, but school is where we can get the most out of them. And we really have to look at our truancy numbers. I know we have a new superintendent coming in, and I think we have to start again to say the numbers are horrible and truancy leads to everything else. Let's fix that problem, find out what the situation is, why they're not going to school. We need to keep them in school and, you know, not necessarily get a college degree, but be educated. And if you're educated, chances are you're not going to fall in that trouble.
Our district attorney representing the 19th JDC. Keep up the great work and learn more about Truce. Google Truce to see what it's doing in the community here as well. Hillar, I appreciate you. Hopefully they spoil you this weekend, man.
I hope so.
Let's talk about an organization that is highlighting the importance of fathers, because you know it is Father's Day weekend, right? I don't think I mentioned that yet. Back with him in just a moment. You know, it's Father's Day weekend. I'm telling you, it's the greatest weekend of the year when Christmas doesn't fall on a weekend. And there's an organization here called Fathers on a Mission. And here is the force behind it. Man, Lavar, we go back a little bit, and you've been doing this work. Lavar Robinson here. I've been talking with you about the work you've been doing for someone who's not heard of FOAM.
Yeah.
Tell them what it is.
Yeah, so Fathers on a Mission is a fatherhood nonprofit here in Baton Rouge that started in 2017 with a mission of enhancing fathers and father figures, which will ultimately strengthen families. So our goal is to increase the knowledge that fathers have, regardless on what level they may be, regardless of their social economic background, regardless of anything. Enhance fathers, we strengthen families.
You know, I love the attention given to motherhood and the importance of mothers. All of us can recognize that. Even my people in the control room who probably don't believe I believe that, but I do. But there isn't enough attention paid to the importance of a father.
Right.
Both interacting with his children and, if possible, being in the home. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, it's one thing that's looked over. You know, a lot of people find it amazing or kind of weird that my father wasn't active in my life, right? So I know the full support of having a strong mother. I wouldn't be the man that I am without a mother. However, there were some things in my life that were missed out on because my father was not there. And so if we take those things and look at our youth today, our children today, and realize that some of these values that fathers can bring into a child's life can make a huge impact on their outcome. So we just have to dig a little bit deeper and understand that fathers, both parents are incredibly important.
That's right.
But fathers make a huge difference in the positive outcomes of our kids when a father is trained and taught on the level they need to be, because we understand that not all fathers are on the correct level they need to be, but that's why we're here to help them enhance themselves.
Children don't come with a handbook. Talk about some of the things that you have done. If people are wondering, what events, what activities have you had since the beginning of the organization? Give me the information.
Yeah, so you know, we have our weekly fatherhood classes at the Family Youth Service Center, 12:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m., where we have various of topics where it's just not a class, it's a discussion. We have an open discussion where guys are comfortable to share about the experiences that they're having and things that they're going through. We have annual celebration of fatherhood events where we bring fathers and children together to do activities, fun activities, educational activities.
I love that.
To increase their bonding experience. Father and daughter dance, cooking with dads. We
Cooking with Dad.
Cooking with Dads,
Okay.
yeah. So
All right.
that's a real great program
Yeah.
of ours. And it's amazing because the Joe Burrow Foundation is our main sponsor
Yeah,
for
yeah.
2024 with
I'm
that.
on the board.
Yes. Then also we have our case management project, Family Build, where we find out the needs of a father and his family and match them to those needs, regardless if it's through our organization or any of the organizations here in our city. So we are intentionally increasing the successful outcomes of kids through fatherhood.
Man, I am anxious for the Inspiration Center to get here because I want you to be able to use that space for the work that you do. Let's talk about funding. Money
Yes.
is important, man.
Yes, it is.
and talk about how people can donate to a cause that I consider so worthy.
Yes, they can go to our website, foamla.org. We have a donate page. You go in there, click the button, and make a donation online. You can also reach our office at 225-239-7833.
Okay.
Talk with our staff members, or even reach out to myself and let's have a conversation about a potential business partnership.
Tell me about the event this weekend quickly.
Yes, so Celebration of Fatherhood this Saturday.
There it is on the screen.
June 15th. We are at the Greater New Guy Family Life Center. We are having our annual Celebration of Fatherhood. We're going to have workshops on the inside, showing dads how to comb their daughter's hair. Now, this is going to be professional, not me showing them, but professionals, hair companies going to show dads how to comb their daughter's hair. We're going to have DCFS on site for fathers to come and ask those questions about child support, custody, visitation. We're also going to have a live father and child podcast, book reading, child care essentials. Outside, we're going to have a dad's dunk tank, so dads, make sure you come dressed where you can get dunked in the tank by the kids.
Oh, man.
We're
Be
gonna have
nice to those kids the day before, dads.
activities, free food, so it's going to various activities for the dads and kids and families. So come on out, have a great time.
You're welcome here anytime to highlight what you're doing. I'm proud of you for what you're doing, brother.
Appreciate
Keep it
it.
up. Fathers on a Mission. What a great organization. Stroke him a check. Y'all help him do this great work.
Please.
Let's talk about a summit on black males. It's happening next week in New Orleans. I got the details next. So did you know that there was an annual summit that takes place in Louisiana that highlights the need to invest in black males? It's called the Black Male Summit. There's a graphic on the screen. It's happening next Monday and Tuesday in New Orleans, and I'm talking to one of the forces behind that, Dr. Claire Norris, who reached out to me a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
I actually had not heard of the summit.
Yeah.
And when I kind of went down the rabbit hole reading about what you did, it is amazing. Now, some may be wondering, like, why do we need a summit on black males? Well, there's so many socioeconomic statistics and analytics that you could look at, from literacy rates to the percentage of young black males who are involved in criminal activity, joblessness, addiction, mental health, and they're often at the heaviest end of the population that needs the support. That's just a handful of reasons why, but from your perspective, why do we need to do this?
Yeah, you know, this work started 4 years ago, and we looked at our data from a higher ed perspective, and we noticed our black males in general, faculty, staff, students, were lagging behind their peers. And so we gathered together at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. We had over 300 folks who had the, conviction to come out and say, this is good work, we have to do this. And so that's sort of where we started. We started talking about education, and then we realized that education is the cornerstone to understand crime, health outcomes, civic engagement, entrepreneurship, wealth, and all of those things. So we've expanded the conversations and partnerships.
What have been some of the highlights over the last 3 years?
So we have expanded our partnerships in a significant way. Our attendees have more than doubled. This year we actually tried to cap it at 650, but on Tuesday afternoon, by Wednesday morning, our phones are ringing off the hook. So we think we'll be at 800 this year.
Well, when this airs, you might get a few more. Heck, you picked up a couple more people just in the studio here this morning.
Last year we had Tyron Matthew from the Saints.
Yeah.
This year you will be featured, which is so fantastic. And we have Sonny Lee with Son of a Saint.
I cannot wait to tell y'all about Son of a Saint. It is a phenomenal organization in New Orleans. I'm going to save it because I want him to either be here or Zoom with me to talk about this. And then some of the activities. You've got breakout sessions.
We've got
Let's talk
breakout
about
sessions. We've got a session or a track geared toward high school students on day 2. We have over 14 universities who are coming out to recruit those students, exposing them to what college life is like. But it's really exciting because we also have business and industry that's
Yep.
setting up tables for internships but also just to connect with business and industry in terms of health outcomes, criminal justice,
Yeah.
and all of that stuff. So it's really community.
I am so proud of the university system for doing this. And just like I said, when you go and learn about what it is, you realize there's such a need for this. And now, so you don't have dates on next year, do you?
We actually do.
Okay.
Turns out it's the 17th and 18th again next year.
Okay. Okay. So you could you could book it now, but you got time right now. Where can people go if they want to buy tickets or learn about it?
You can go online at the University of Louisiana ulsystem.edu and just click on Black Male Summit. We've got a huge banner rolling across. It is free for students.
Yeah.
We are investing in our students.
You have a high school like itinerary too,
We
right?
do.
Quickly,
We
30
do.
seconds. What is that?
30 seconds. It's a time for high schoolers to engage with all of the universities, visit with their tables, understand what college is going to be like. But we really have a cool thing that they're going to meet, and we have a panel of college students who'll talk to them about their experience, and they'll be able to connect with them and contact them. So, yeah.
I'm excited about it. I'll be a part of that. Be there Monday and Tuesday. Looking forward to it. Sonny and I, with Son of a Saint, will have a chance to be on a panel together and cherry pick some of the breakout sessions. And really, I am proud that the system is doing this because if this population is not served better, we are always going to suffer.
That's right.
And so this is awesome. And it's a great thing to tell you all about on Father's Day weekend too.
Yes.
Thank you, Claire. I'll see you next week, right?
Thank you so much.
All right,
We'll
back
see
to
ya.
talk about a couple of activities that are happening next week here in the capital city. Stay right there. All right, next weekend there are a lot of activities happening here in the capital city. Starting on Wednesday, there's a Juneteenth celebration. We'll talk about that. This is an annual event. And then next Friday, Saturday, and a week from Sunday on the campus of the Southern University is the Greek show with the Panhellenic Council. But first, there's a heavy storm in the building. Vince Hutchinson is here to talk about the Juneteenth celebration next Wednesday. Man, what's going on out there?
All right, well, it's really Saturday here for State Representative C. Denise Marcel.
That's right.
And it's going to be lots of great entertainment.
Right.
It's going to be lots of vendors, everything. And it's family oriented. So bring your nice chair, bring your chairs, you know, bring the family, come on out and party. And we just going to have ourselves a great time. That's this Saturday. It's going to start at 12 and it's going to end. You know, we're just going to party.
That's right.
You know.
So that's right. It's Saturday. I said Wednesday. It's Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday.
And tell people where it is again.
It's on Gus Young. It's the Gus Young, right there at the park there in Gus Young. And it's going to be, like I say, family oriented. Bring your family. It's going to be all sorts of things for the kids, food, you know, all kinds of events.
Yeah, Rep. Marcel told me about the food, the performance. There'll be adult music. There's going to be some hip hop there as well for the young people, but it's a family-oriented event
And
overall.
I'm going to tell you, I done it last year, and man, when the kids get on stage, because they do their dance, they do their performance, it's amazing. It takes you, you know, it just takes you back, man.
Well, it's good, man, to get families together to celebrate such a great, great holiday. And then Barry Stewart is here with the Panhellenic Council, talking about the Greek show taking place next week at Southern Friday, Saturday, and then y'all will be worshiping on Sunday.
That's right.
Take me through everything that's happening, man.
We're just so excited for this weekend, actually next weekend at the Southern University F.G. Clark Activity Center.
The Mini Dome.
The Mini Dome. It's our 20th annual Terrell Jackson Old School Greek Show.
Senior.
Terrell Jackson Senior, absolutely. And it's a time for everybody to come out, families to come out and just enjoy the Greece, have a good time, see some great entertainment. It's for the entire family, and we're just looking forward to it. It's going to be an incredible event.
You're not that partial to one of the fraternities over another.
Well, you know, I am an officer in the pen, so I love all my fellow Greeks, all the same though. But it's one a little closer to my heart than others. So
just a little bit. I mean, it's not that obvious either.
Not at all.
So look, you have live music. Tell me about some of the things that are happening, man. It's 3 days this year.
Yeah. So we're going to get together on Friday and have the Greek show. Then on Saturday, also at Southern University, we're going to have the Panhellenic picnic where we all get together and just have a good time. You know, just show unity in the community. It's going to be a great celebration there with a music, band, food, that sort of thing. And then Sunday we'll be worshiping together over at Great King David on Harry Drive. So it'll be very, very nice.
So, you know, we've talked about this, you and I. We go back nearly 30 years. the sororities and fraternities do more than just party. There is an
Absolutely.
impact in the community and in education provided by these groups. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. You know, our fraternities and sororities, we have been a part of American culture for over 100 years. We have very impactful people that have been in our organizations. Dr. Martin Luther King, who is, I'm proud to say, was part of my organization. Vice President Kamala Harris is a member
AKA.
of member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, as well as our own mayor president, Sharon Weston
The
Brooks.
ink is just dry on that one
Yes,
now.
yeah, because she's a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority.
So is Representative Marcel.
So we have really done a lot to impact, not locally, but also American society, and it's just an honor and privilege to do so.
So that is next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Man, I'm always happy to support this thing. This
Absolutely.
is what, the third or fourth year.
Thank you so much for our sponsors, all that have supported us throughout the years, and we couldn't do it without our sponsors and without the Baton Rouge community and surrounding areas.
And there it is on the screen there. So Vince, quickly, I got 30 seconds. I got to ask you a question. What do you think about the music scene in Baton Rouge right now?
What I think about the music scene? Well, it's definitely a new game. I've been in the game for a long time.
When you say a new game, what do you mean?
Well, it has definitely changed.
Yeah.
And what I've occurred in the last decade or so, but what I'm glad about is that the youth has grabbed the old man by the shoulder and say, hey, we're going to walk you through this here because you've been here and you've done your thing and you made your mark. Now we're going to help you take this to a whole new level. So to everyone out there, there's a party going on and we're inviting you to come out with us.
See, I didn't
so
even plan
Saturday night, Saturday day from 12 until right there at Gus Young Park. And Mr. Kenny Neal, unfortunately, his plane got delayed, and he called me this morning. And he said, "Hey, come fill in for me, Vince." But he's a blues legend, and there's going to be so many other great entertainers out there. Top Dog going to be out there. He's going to do something out there.
Look, I appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, thank you
Look,
so much.
There's new leadership in St. George. We'll talk about what that means for the entire parish. We'll do that next week. Happy Father's Day, the greatest weekend of the year. Enjoy it, man.
Thanks a lot.